Welcome to the Talking Head edition of Talking with a Dad. Steve, what the hell is going on with your boy Jon Jones? What is going on with your boy Jon Jones? It is the news article taking the UFC and MMA and fighting community by storm.
That meme you sent me was perfect.
You know who posted that?
That was Corey Anderson.
Corey Anderson.
It's good to know he finally woke up.
Yeah. Finally, he's back.
Had his phone in his hand like, here we go.
Post. So, if you don't know what we're talking about, and I'm sure it's already in the title, Jon Jones arrested on a DUI at 4 o'clock this morning. It is the biggest news. Steve is a big Jon Jones fan, as am I guess, right? But
I'm a Jon Jones fan for sure.
Steve is a ride or die for Jon Jones for sure.
I'm a little bit less ride than I used to be. I'm more of what you would call that parent that's been to rehab with their kid too many times.
Yeah. An idiot.
Yes.
So Jon Jones arrested on DUI. Also in there is a negligent use of a firearm and something else. I think was there a third thing in there?
Yeah, according to Brown, which is one of the arresting officers, Jones had a leafy substance on his shirt and pants consistent with marijuana.
He was eating spinach.
And an odor of alcohol coming from his facial area.
Okay, that's fair. What were the charges? DUI, negligent use of a firearm, and I thought there was a third one. Steve has an article pulled up and can't find it. I'll find it before he does.
Now I'm looking at this is like the actual arrest notes, and they're pretty funny.
I don't know how to read those. So here's the issue, right? Here's the issue. Is this good because we get old Jon back, or is this bad because Jon's going to do time?
Well, wait. You said you heard that he was in front of his house, right?
He was parked in his car in front of his house, but if the keys are in the ignition and he has a gun, he's going to get the full extent of this. Yeah.
I'd be surprised if he does any real time on this. He might do like 3 or 4 months because I think he's off probation, so it's not going to be a violation, which would have been instant time in some instances. Depending.
Well, hold on a second. He took a plea deal for a battery charge in Las Vegas last year. Did he get any probation for that? He would still be on that because this was October.
No.
Okay.
Nothing stuck. Jon is off probation. This man is as free as the wind.
I don't know how. He's a troubled man.
He's a slippery eel. So he completed his 18 months of probation, which was community service and all that stuff.
Okay.
And so this would be what they call in the books a new charge if the DA decides to pick it up. I can't see why they wouldn't want to pick it up, seeing as how he's a public figure in a very small area and
large public figure.
Yeah, and he's had already so many run-ins with the law there. Not to mention that this will be his second DUI. His first one
and negligent use of a firearm. By the way,
second?
No, but still negligent use of a firearm. That's what they're going to get him on.
That depends.
He fired a shot, and that's why the cop showed up.
Oh, he fired a shot off?
One round, cop showed up and was like, what the fuck? Casing on the ground, gun loaded.
Wait, he fired a shot off in the air? Because
you get a desk pop. You get a desk pop every once in a while. Yeah, right? But that's what caused the negligent use of a firearm. Oh, right? Man. That's why that charge is on there. He was twice the legal limit.
Right.
So... yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. Like, if I'm the DEA and I don't know much about the law, but I do know that all the cops' notes are permissible in a court of law. I don't know how I know that. That stuff's going to come up, right? And if I'm reading these notes, do you want to hear them?
Go ahead.
3:26 at about 12:55 a.m. This is from the officer's point of view. I was third I was at 3rd and Central in the parking lot. I heard a single gunshot to the west on Central. I drove west of Central and observed a black Jeep on the south side of the street parked in front of 312 Central. I observed a male in the driver's seat and a subject on the sidewalk by the passenger side door. I observed no other subjects in the area. I pulled up behind the vehicle and turned on my overhead lights. The vehicle was running. I contacted the driver and asked him to roll down the vehicle windows. I observed an open bottle of alcohol on the floor behind the passenger seat. It was a fourth-full of bottle of Reserado, 40% alcohol. I don't know what that is.
Oh, sorry. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. The third charge was no proof of insurance.
I asked the driver to hand me the bottle. I also observed that he had a green leafy substance on his shirt and pants, consistent with marijuana. I identified the driver as Jonathan Jones. I asked Jones about the gunshot, and he stated he didn't know. I asked him why he was and he stated he wanted to go for a drive. I asked him for his vehicle registration and proof of insurance. John fumbled with his documents and was not able to locate proof of current insurance. I also observed that Jones had an odor of alcohol coming from his facial area. I requested the assistance of a DWI officer, Officer Brian. Johnson was working on a DWI saturation patrol and responded to my request. After Officer Johnson completed his investigation, he placed Jones under arrest for DWI. I had the vehicle towed from the scene. During an inventory, the vehicle was subject to arrest and tow. I located a loaded handgun under the driver's seat. I also located a spent round just outside the driver's side door.
There you go.
The spent round was the same caliber as the firearm that was located. A video of my investigation will be uploaded to APD evidence. The handgun was tagged into APD evidence. Not a good look. I can go
Not a good look. But so aggravated assault or aggravated DWI, not aggravated assault. That's a different penalty here, which is probably committed as well. Aggravated DWI carries a maximum penalty of 90 days in jail and 1 year of probation, plus a mandatory 48 hours. So he's halfway done with that already. The maximum penalty for negligent use of a deadly weapon is 6 months. So the most he's gonna get is a year. Right, that's the most if he gets hit with the maximum of everything. Right, he won't. The most he'll get is probably 2 months.
They'll run in concurrent. More than likely, so let's assume that he's going to get hit with the max, which he deserves, right?
Right. So
anyone else that's not a celebrity is not only going to get hit with the max, but they're also going to get hit with a fraud to an officer for lying, right? Sure. They're going to get hit. They're going to hit with a different charge for the concealed weapon. Also, if he doesn't have, you'd be surprised when you don't have money how charges start coming out of nowhere. It's like, I found Zachary sitting on the sidewalk. I noticed that he was sitting in a red lane, which is indicating. And next thing you know, you get an ad charge for disorderly in public. So here's what we might see, in my humble opinion, right? John may do, depending on, is he still currently in custody right now? Do you know?
I believe he is.
So all that time adds up, and it goes against your sentence as well. So the longer he's in, the less time he'll actually have to do. If the maximum is 90 on one charge, he might get 60. 290 for the whole thing. He might do about 6 to 8 months.
You think he might do that long?
If it depends on the DA.
They throw the book at him, right?
Yeah, it depends on the DA. And
I think he's pretty big in Albuquerque, man.
And that's why he might. That's why he might get the max.
Okay,
because it's fair. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how many times does someone have to go to bat for him? How many times is the DA gonna let a charge slide? You know what I'm saying? First we have that crazy French actor that Dave Chappelle was talking about, Jussie Smollett. You know about Jussie.
Yeah,
Smollett.
Of course. Yeah, I know all about that situation.
So then we don't want to have another situation like that where you get another famous person just getting off again. Right? Because he didn't do any time. I think the charges he had last time were way more serious. Just think about that for a second. Yeah, hit and run, evasion.
Yeah.
You did that, Zach, they would bury you under the prison.
No, I'd be all right.
No, that's what you think. Not in this cancel culture. They'd be like, he's got a YouTube channel. It's pretty provocative. I'm pretty sure I heard him say a word that sounded like ninja, and it could have been the other word. Next thing you know, Alex Jones is reporting on you. It's all over for you, Zach.
So he was on probation up until January for the disorderly conduct charge in Las Vegas. So his other probation for the hit and run had ended in 2018. Because that was in 2015 apparently. I didn't realize that was that long ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, what does the UFC do with John?
Cut him.
You think they cut him?
I think at some point they have to, right?
I mean, man, no other major sports organization would cut him for this.
Wrong. NFL would cut him down.
No, they wouldn't. No. The NFL only cuts you if you hit a woman.
Listen to me. NFL would cut him right now.
No, they wouldn't. They absolutely would not, dude.
They'd be like, okay. They'd be like, listen, John, We covered up your coke babies. We took care of the baby mama drama for you. All that stuff. Who knows if he maybe had a relationship with that pregnant woman he went after? That's what I've always been thinking. How was she out on the road at the same time as Jon? That just seemed a little suspicious. No one's asking.
It does seem a little strange. It does seem a little strange.
Jon gets a text at 1 a.m. The baby's yours. He's like, "Where are you right now?"
Dead. So the NFL would not cut him at this moment, right? The NFL will hold you through DUIs, DWIs, failed drug tests. You have to commit some sort of violent crime. This is not a violent crime, clearly. But so in a similar situation, Brett Favre back in the day was totally addicted to painkillers and crashed his car high out of his mind on painkillers. And he played a successful career, won a Super Bowl.
That was back in the heyday. That's back when cocaine and mustaches were the thing.
No, you're right. They'd probably cut him. You know who wouldn't, though? For sure. Do you know which organization wouldn't? The NHL. Yep.
I knew you were going to say
that. The NHL is the only major sports league that does not test for marijuana anymore.
As it should be, to be honest with you. I have my own feelings about marijuana, but here's the thing,
They use it for recovery in hockey a lot. They play a lot of games. It's a physical game.
I think that the line can't be drawn for someone in regards to their addiction unless unless the line has been crossed and now it's starting to impact others, right?
Yeah.
So a person has the personal freedom up until a point until it starts causing harm legally to themselves and others to live out their life. And even though we don't want them to, I think someone has to make a decision for Jon for some real consequences. So you're asking me, does the UFC cut him? Probably not.
Nope.
Should they cut him? No.
They should at least strip him. I feel like they should at least strip him. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
But here's the issue. If he gets 2.5, 3 months, the UFC might not even be back by then in full swing, you know?
Yeah.
So we might be okay. We're going to see Jon again later this year. No worries about it.
So he's going to come back, beat Dominic Reyes to death.
Yes. Yeah. With Thiago Santos' leg.
Yeah. I picked this up at the airport. I thought it belonged to you.
All right. So
last topic on the talking head thing here, man. I'm going to pronounce his name right out of respect because I can't just be going
I honestly don't even care about those.
I know you don't. I just think, but you're more educated on this, so you have to make me understand what it is I'm about to get wrong. Okay?
Go ahead.
So, Nate Schott.
Yep.
CEO and founder of 100 Thieves. Did I get that correct thus far?
Correct.
All right. Is unhappy because there were no rankings in what part of COD? Explain it to me.
So from what I have seen, he's upset that there's no ranked multiplayer mode, but there's skill-based matchmaking in Warzone. Right? They went out of their way to make it Warzone intentionally harder for the top 10% of people and intentionally easier for the bottom 50. And there still is not a ranked mode in Modern Warfare, which I totally agree on. I totally agree. I think they should make a ranked mode and take skill-based matchmaking out of casuals and make the skill-based matchmaking more heavy and put a ranked mode in.
Makes sense to me. I mean, if you're good, you should be recognized for how good you are. Be able to build yourself
right.
up.
You know, you should be a pro that's won many championships, right?
No, well, here's what I think. Right. Let's say that you Zach.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say your last name. If there's ranking, so let's say in Street Fighter, there's ranking in Street Fighter.
Sure.
You come in, you're ranked really low, obviously, but you can build yourself up and you can build your ranking up. You can build your XP
played many games like this. Yep.
Yeah, and I think that's only fair to be able to play the game that way. So I can understand his frustration. What I'm trying to understand are the developers of COD, why they would eliminate something like this.
I mean, for you to understand the development cycle of Call of Duty, it would take an entire lesson, an entire podcast lesson on this. If you wanted, I can give it to you. But Infinity Ward has notoriously never put a ranked style game mode inside of their games. Next year, when it's Treyarch and it's a new reboot of the Black Ops series, which is rumored to be, as Steve here fights with his baby, there will be a ranked mode next year, most likely, as most Treyarch game has had. So Infinity Ward has notoriously never had a ranked or never liked the ranked style game modes inside of their game for whatever reason. So that's why there is not one this year, for sure. If this was Treyarch would have had a ranked game mode in. So it wouldn't be a talking with a dad if there weren't children involved, as Steve and his child here have a slight battle, ladies and gentlemen. I believe Steve is losing. He is now T-posing in front of the kid, as it is only merely amusing him. So I think we should probably end it here. Gonna roll out while Steve is T-posing in the background. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Talking with a Head, Talking with the Dad's Talking Head style videos. I just made that up on the spot. I hope everyone liked it. And remember to like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below what you want to see us talk about next. And remember, Jon Jones is no longer in the UFC.